Hello! Welcome to my backyard. It's been a long time since I made a YouTube video, but another YouTuber out there inspired me. The channel is called Byway Allotment, and I really like the guy's style. He does a lot of cool things. So thought I'd give a tour of my garden. I'd just show not so much gardening hints and tricks and things like that, but more like the unique little things I have going on in my garden that might be a help to some people. I mean, who knows, right? So I'm in Canada, zone 4B, I believe. So it's really cold where I am. So if you see anything a little weird, that would be the reason why, because it's cold here. So I guess I'll get started and show you some of the stuff. Okay, I'm going to start with these flower boxes. Now, I was driving home one day and I passed what used to be a local bar and pool hall called the Voyageur Tavern. And they had one of these just leaning against Nimbin. Not one of these, they had 6 of these. And my wife's always asked us for raised beds, garden planters. So I brought one home in the trunk of the car. It's only about a block away. And she said, "How many are there?" And I said, 6. She said, "Go get all of them." So it took me 12 trips. I really planned on relaxing that day, but I got garden boxes out of the deal, and so I brought them home. I linseed oiled them, lined them with poly plastic on the inside. I don't know if you can see it, but what's really unique about these and odd, these are the things, by the way, they put over the pool tables to make it look like a rustic joint, like some kind of Tex-Mex Western bar. So they'd hang these giant wooden things over with lights in them over the pool tables, and yeah, so that's what these are. They're just upside down right now. But what's really unique about these, and I don't know if anybody's ever done this before, but if you can see, they're at an angle, right? So when it rains, the rain kind of comes and lands and then goes straight down. The sides of these never get wet. Even in giant rainstorms, the sides never seem to get wet. So I really hope that would, postpone any rot off of them. Because I know wooden garden boxes have a limited lifespan. So that's the boxes. This is just a kind of your standard bed. It's got beans and carrots and Swiss chard. Something gets into my Swiss chard every single night and rips a couple of them down. So it's not really getting ahead in life. Peppers. Put 24 peppers in here. Might seem a little excessive and crowded, but I'm going to give it an experiment. So the ones at the front are bells, the ones in the middle are banana peppers, and the ones at the back are jalapeno peppers. So I kind of put them in sort order where they would get, so they wouldn't shade each other. You kind of don't want that in the early spring when it's finally warming up here. You kind of want them to, the short ones need to not get any shade at all. So zucchinis are coming up. They're all right. Over here, what are these? These are raspberries. These are raspberries mixed in with the rose bushes. So it's really thick in there, and these were there when we moved in. But I got these weird little, I'll show you down there. That stuff. I don't know what that's called. Some kind of bishop's weed or something. And it's terrible stuff. It just grows everywhere. It grows underground. And there's nothing you can do to stop it short of pulling the whole garden up and starting from scratch. So this is my pride and joy right here. This is my blueberry patch. So those two were bought from a store. The one on the left doesn't do much. I don't think it's for my zone at all. The one on the right, I get a little bit. But these ones, look at this. Just look at them. I mean, they're loaded with blueberries. So what I did was, about a year and a half ago, I went up to a place in town called Blueberry Hill. That's where I used to hang out as a kid. And so I knew they had lots of blueberry plants there, and I wanted some local ones because they'd be less maintenance. And so I went up there to steal them out of the bush, and I found out that they were doing a whole subdivision there. They just a giant development. So it turned into a rescue mission, and I grabbed as many of these little guys as I could and brought them home because they were just going to get bulldozed anyway. And my wife kind of likes what I've done, what I've had rocks and pine needles and sticks. So I've tried to kind of make this like their natural environment, and they didn't do much last year. So they overwintered, didn't do much last summer, but this summer it's crazy. It's absolutely bonkers what's happening in here. Like everywhere is just loaded. I've never seen clusters like that. And you know, I just gave it a little bit of fertilizer, a little bit of my own acidic recipe. I'll share that if anybody's interested in a different video maybe. Yeah, so that's the blueberries. Rescued blueberries. Got my herbs in one of Leon's wicking buckets. I decided to try and make a couple of wicking buckets from Leon's channel, and a little more work than you'd think, but not much. You know, put a pipe down there and some plastic bottles, drill some holes, and you're done. This is another rescue. This is actually I got this from the beach. It was just sitting in a little thing on its own. It wasn't doing well, and I brought it home, and it's a blackberry. And I wanted a blackberry because that was the only berry I was really missing, and it overwintered last winter, and it just looked like a little twig coming out of the ground. It was no good at all. But she looks healthy now. I mean, she's doing all right. I hope there's some flowers on there, so maybe I'll get some blackberries, if that's what they are. Yeah, it was a beach, and I just put it in a cup my daughter had, a little plastic cup. I think it was probably garbage, and it's lived. It's doing all right. Let's get my peas. The peas are doing all right. And this is my eggplant. 4 eggplants, so put 4 in there, 2 in each. These are just little greenhouses. I got this idea off a maritime gardener because he lives in a cold climate too, so he has to insulate his eggplants a little bit. And so he makes these kind of poly, I don't know what you call it, like a poly fence around it to keep the warmth in, but I just threw these things on top, and they're really doing well because they don't grow well where I live. The strawberry patch. These are they're kind of getting old and ragged, and I definitely have to thin them out. These are also wild strawberries from our location. So what I've been trying to do here is kind of take as much of the local kind of the things that grow naturally around here and get them to work in my garden, so they're lower maintenance, you know, and the kids can come out and just grab a handful of strawberries or some blackberries or some raspberries or some blueberries and feed themselves. Last year I managed to somehow chew $500 off my summer grocery bill, and that includes the amount that I put into fertilizer and things like that. So over here, my little grotto. I have a video about why I have this grotto. It's a long-winded video, so beware if you watch it. I got rhubarb. 2 rhubarbs. Grabbed just little rhubarb roots off my dad, and there's the next door neighbor dogs, and they never stop. They just do that every time they come out, and the owners tell them to shush, and they just don't. But anyway, rhubarb. So there's another one that just takes care of itself, comes back every year. Strawberries down there. They're coming in nice. You can see there should be some lots of red ones in there somewhere. Yeah, there's lots. They're big. They're fairly big. I mean, the size of my thumb. And these are wild. These aren't any kind of GMO strawberry. They're just the kind we get in the bush. Look at that one. I'm surprised there's any out here with a 4-year-old. She'll go crazy when she sees those. Pole beans. I can't get the pole beans to work this year. The ants are just chewing them down as fast as I replant them and as fast as I spray. I don't put ant spray on there, obviously. I put baking soda and Dove, but the ants just dig it. And cucumbers, supposed to be a row of cucumbers in front of that. There are none. I've replanted. For the record, don't try that thing. Don't get smart and think you can transplant cucumbers from a big bucket to a small bucket, because that just doesn't work at all. Which reminds me, okay, so I transplanted some cucumbers, which just, they gave up the ghost right away. And at the same time, in the same big bucket, I had some squash. And the squash is kind of taking. It looks like it might go, but this has been in there for a month, and it's not really doing what it should be, but we'll see. I hope so. So that's about the thing. That's pretty much it, I guess. Oh no, I got one more thing, or two more things. So there's a mint bush, and obviously I keep the mint out of everything else. It doesn't grow with doesn't grow in the ground, because to hell with that. But I overwintered it. I just dug a hole down there, threw the whole pot in there, and threw some leaves over it. It survived the winter, and our winter is like minus 30, minus 40. It's crazy. But the mint, she came back. All right. Pulled it out in about May or April, and dusted it off once the frosts were done, and she loves it. So what else? These, oh, my tomatoes. This year is the first year I'm growing a determinate variety. They're called I think they're called Alberta something. Anyway, there's 24 in there, so it's really crowded. I got 3 cherry tomatoes at the back, and that's it. It's the first time I grow indeterminates. I usually grow indeterminates, but none of my seeds took this year, so oh well. You know, if my determinate seeds did take, probably about the second round of trying to get tomatoes started inside, so there we go. And I like them. They seem like a lot less work, and they're supposed to be cold hardy too. So, and over there I got 2 new haskap bushes. I think I paid $13 each, and the male's doing all right. This one here, he's doing all right. But the female, she's struggling a little bit, and I'm not sure why. You know, I don't know. I treat them the same, but maybe they get a little too much sun. I don't think they like sun. Sirens, there's always sirens. Always sirens. And chives. Chives don't look that great, because we cut into the chives almost every night or two. So, and, well, flowers, pollinators, of course. We got these. Were here when I moved in. I don't know what they're called. My wife knows. I can't remember the names of flowers to save my life. Except for the zinnias, those three pots over there. That's my responsibility. I got some marigolds coming, so hopefully that'll keep the chipmunks and maybe the ants at bay a little bit. And that's a raspberry I did for somebody, but they didn't. We forgot to give it to them. So there you have it. That's my 2024 late spring garden tour. If I never had any designs to become a gardening channel, because God knows there's tons of those. But if you like what you see, let me know. If you have any questions, let me know. If you'd like a follow-up, let me know. And thanks to Byways Allotment for inspiring me to do this one. And I don't know. Peace be with you.